Hi. Hey everyone, my name is Jason, and this summer I've been working on a project that looks at misinformation on coronavirus news on WhatsApp. Now, these are two examples of what kinds of misinformation is happening on WhatsApp, which I know, at least for the first one, that talks about blowing a hairdryer up your nose to kill the virus, sounds completely insane. Now, first off, in the study, we define misinformation as false, inaccurate, or misleading information, whether it's intentional or unintentional to deceive others. This has been a huge issue for years and continues to be today. With the pandemic, it's important that people get the right information for their public safety. However, as we start to go back to schools in almost a month, and with the political election this year, misinformation has never become more relevant. Now, WhatsApp is an end-to-end encrypted platform, which means Facebook, the company that owns WhatsApp, can't access the user's messages. These messaging platforms have seen an increasing growth in user bases as they are good for privacy and are cheaper than cellular services. For example, there are about 68.1 million American WhatsApp users and 1.5 billion monthly active users worldwide. Now, previous studies focused more on other social media platforms like Twitter or Facebook, and there was another study that looked at public WhatsApp chats in South Africa. However, this project is looking at private chats and looking at different URLs. Now, this study was split into two parts, qualitative and quantitative. The qualitative side was the user study and included the interview script and the ideas for fact-checking. The quantitative side was the app design and development and collecting the raw data, which are URLs and the chat's metadata. Both are essential in telling the whole story. Now, in the qualitative part, we were trying to answer how are users interacting with these kinds of misinformation and how frequently. So one of the first things I focused on was writing an interview script. So we asked questions on topics like general WhatsApp usage, participants' misinformation encounters, and how participants get their coronavirus information, and the current fact-checking strategies. And to do the interviews, I also had to fill out the IOB application, which included creating and editing a consent form and the demographic survey. Now, another thing I looked at was different APIs to see what info we could extract from URLs. And we were thinking about using the Alexa's web info services to do this. I also tested out different automated fact-checking tools like Google's Fact Checker, Claimbuster, and others. Now, on the quantitative side, we were trying to answer what kinds of misinformation is being spread via the WhatsApp chats. So in this part, we were planning on doing an MTOOC study to get our participants to download a so-called Extractor App to collect the WhatsApp chats with their consent, of course. So I worked on the development of an app using React Native, a tool in JavaScript, with another undergrad student. So this was designed so that participants can export their chats to our app. The app unzips the file and then parses through the chat file and spits out all the URLs shared and other metadata info like number of messages sent from each user during the day. So some of the functionalities of the app include share extension, the unzipping async storage, anonymizing the users in the chats, and emailing the file through the app to us. The essential result is that most of the functionality of the app is done, which will be shown shortly in the demo. And one of the biggest and most annoying challenges for me on the project was finding working React Native packages for the app. And for future works, we'll probably work on implementing a design for the app, and we'll also set up some pilot interviews as well and scheduling them sometime in September.